Hey guys, it's Carl Brown from GuitarLessons365.com. Got one of my favorite Elton John songs today. We'll learn how to play I'm Still Standing. So this is a fun track to play. It's just got some great chord progressions in it. And just a really interesting way that he goes into the chorus. So it's just very weird where we have a verse section that's all upbeat and in major, and then we take it into minor for the chorus, which is usually the reverse. Usually major, the chorus, is the big happy chorus, climatic chorus is in major. But he reverses it here to really great effect, really dramatic effect, and it's just really, really cool how he lays out the song. It's just really one of the greatest songwriters of all time. But anyway, we're gonna take a look at all of the chords here for this on acoustic. I know that David Johnson plays guitar on this as well, and he adds some chord work, like kind of more power chord stuff, especially later on. But it's mostly a piano-based track. So when I have that kind of thing, I want to really kind of get the full chords in there, and the full chord voicings that are being used on the piano, which is really the foundation of the song. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Really covering the actual, closer to what Elton John's doing on the piano, on the guitar, and not doing the chord work that Dave Johnson's doing. However, I will be switching to electric the second half of this lesson and teaching you how to play David Johnson's solo there, which is really cool solo as well too. All right, before I get into it, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and all that good stuff, and ring the notification bell so you know it doesn't work. And then if you really want to support what I do here on YouTube, please subscribe to my Guitar Academy. You'll see a link to it in the description below. My Guitar Academy not only supports everything that I do online, but it gives you full access to all my guitar courses, covering everything from complete beginner courses to more advanced courses on technique, improvisation, ear training, theory, guitar tone, and everything. So please check it out. You get a free 7-day trial just by clicking that link. So let's jump into this track. So now I'm in standard tuning here, but I do have a capo at the first fret, which is it's a keyboard track. So usually you're gonna have to use some kind of capo if you want to make it really playable. I mean, you can play a whole bunch of bar chords, but it's not much fun. So we're gonna be throwing a capo here at the first fret, and when I'm calling out the chords here, I'm not gonna be calling them out like this is an actual B flat minor chord, right? Because we've got this capoed. That's gonna be very confusing to people. So I'm gonna just call it out as if the capo was open strings. So this is an A minor chord. This is a D minor. This is an E major. That's how we're going to call it. Just basically, it's just how you play those chords just in front of the capo. And that'll make a lot more sense to follow along, I think. So let's start here with this intro. All right, so we're starting here with this in A minor. Now, the key here is we have this open A string. Obviously it's capo, it's B flat, but open A string, so we're gonna call it. Kind of ringing underneath all the time. So the song's in B flat. So we have this open A just ringing under it. It's part of that A minor chord, right? But then we switch to a D minor chord. And we still have the A in the bass. So, basic A minor to a D minor. Now, for these basic open position chords, I'm not going to go put your finger here, that kind of stuff. If there's any chord that's beyond like a basic open chord, I will do that for you. But here, if you need open position chords, go to my website. They're all free there. Very detailed, each one written out in charts. 10-minute long video showing you one chord. It's like GuitarLessons365.com. Click on free lessons, then click on beginner. You'll see it right there. All right, so we start with this A minor. Then we go to that D minor, and we have the A string still in the bass. And then something really cool. We have it's an E major chord, but with A in the bass. So that's a little weird, so I'll explain that. Second fret in front of the capo there on the D. First fret in front of the capo on the G, open B, open high E. But still get that A in the bass. Very cool. So this A minor to D minor to the E, with that A each time in the bass. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go to this F major chord. So this is going to be just kind of the little mini bar version of that F major. We have the first fret there in front of the capo, barred across the high E and the B. Second fret in front of the capo on the G, and third fret in front of the capo on the D. Once again, open A string underneath it. And then just take that chord and move it up 2 frets, still with that A in the bass. Then that gives us the chords to the intro. So we have this. So those last 2 chords, hit real quick, just hit 1 time each. Repeat. All right, so after you've done that progression twice, we get to the verse. And then the verse, we take it into B flat major. So obviously we're playing it as A major because we have a capo here. It's going to bring it up that half step for us. So the verse looks like this. So we're going to start here with this A major chord, so it's in front of the capo, of course, and I'm going to be doing it with a bar because of what comes next. So we have the open A string, the second fret across the in front of the capo on the D, G, and the B. So just those 4 middle strings is all you need, just for that A chord. And what we're going to do now is we're going to move it to a D major with A in the bass, compared to the capo, of course. So that's why we're doing this little maneuver here. We're barring this because all we have to do to get to this chord is that add the 1 fret there in front of the bar on the B string, and then 2 frets in front of the bar there on the D string. And so that makes this right here. And we have the open A string in the bass. So we have this A, then place those 2 fingers down. Then we go to that same E with the A in the bass. And then back to the A chord. So we have this. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to keep the A in the bass. We're going to play a B minor on top of it, which makes it a B minor 7 chord. So it's B minor in front of the capo. Obviously, we're actually in C minor 7, but I'll keep reminding you guys of that because I'll get a lot of blowback saying that's not that. Yeah, I get it. We're comparing it to the capo. So open A string, 4th fret in front of the capo there on the D, 4th fret in front of the capo on the G, and then 3rd fret in front of the capo on the B string. So far we have this. Then that takes us to a standard E major there. E major in front of the capo. To a bar chord here, this minor bar chord, which we're just going to visualize as an F sharp minor bar chord. Because it's 2 frets in front of the capo, right? So but basically it's a bar, 2 frets in front of the capo. And then you're going to add there, it's a minor bar chord. And on the A and the D string, we have notes held there in front of the bar. All right, so from that E to that F sharp minor, Then we're going to go to a D major chord. And then we're going to end it with this A major chord again. Go into that little D, and then back to the A. All right, so let me just play through that one more time for you, kind of slowly. Now we get back to the beginning of the verse again. We should repeat all of that again. Now, so that was the second time through that verse progression. And when you get here the second time, just hold this A. We kind of hold that A, and then go to from A major to A minor to take it to the chorus that's in minor. So that first chorus is that whole chord progression done twice, and then the first verse. The rest of the verses are just done once. So it's basically this that ending where we just hold the A. And then goes straight into the chorus. So you're only going to play that progression one time with that standard A ending for the rest of the verses after this. So all together for the first verse, though, we have this. And then we get to the chorus, just a fantastic chorus, switching everything down to minor, and we have this. Back to major to get back to the verse. It's just really cool. All right, so we have started. So we went from that A major to the minor that starts the chorus. So that's just an A minor in front of the bar, in front of the capo. I'm sorry. Now this next chord that it goes to is a G6 chord. You can also You'll see people call that G6 an E minor 7 chord instead. A G6 and an E minor 7 are the exact same 4 notes. What determines whether you call it really, how most people would determine it, is what is the root note. And they go to a G in the bass there. So since they do that, we're going to call it a G6. So basically a G major chord with an E added to it. So that's what the high E is there. So it makes the chord very easy to play on the guitar there. So we have this A minor chord. And then we go to this G6. So that's just 3 frets in front of the capo and the low E, 2 frets in front of the capo and the A, and then the rest of the strings open. And then we're going to go to that D minor again. And then we have to go to some bar chords. Even though we have a capo there, we're going to have to play some bars. Which we did before. So this is, consider this, I know it's an F sharp major chord, but we're going to just, since it's in front of the capo, and the capo is the open strings to us now, right? That's the note on the guitar. So we're just going to play this 1 fret above it like it's an F chord. So just that bar there right in front of the capo, full bar across 6 strings, and then 1 fret in front of the bar you're going to have the on the G string, and then 2 frets in front of the bar on the D and the A. Standard major chord bar chord. And then we're going to take that up 2 frets. So that's kind of the progression for the first half of the chorus. So we have this. I'm still standing better than I ever been, looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. Repeat. I'm still standing after all this time, picking up the pieces of my life without you on my mind. And then we transition to the second half of the chorus. So we just did that F to the G, right? Then we're going to go real quick again, a quick little transition back to the F and G. And then we get to the second half of the chorus, which is a little different. It goes, I'm still standing. I'm still standing. So after that quick transition, we go to A minor, to D minor, to E. And then that quick F to G again, and repeat. So the first chorus, you just play through that progression twice. Then it goes back to that A major that starts over with the verse. So let me just play through the full chorus again. Remember, the chorus is at the end of the song. They just take that last section when you get to that. And just repeat that. You still play the fourth. Just going to repeat that second half over and over again there. All right, so that is the end. We do then have the solo section coming up. Remember, so that second time you play the verse, you just playing it the progression one time through, and then go back into the chorus again. Then we get to the solo. Solo is over the verse chords, and then it goes back into the chorus after the solo. So all that's left to do now is learn that really killer solo by Dave Johnston. So I'm going to switch over to my Strat, and I'll see you then. So we're going to go through that thing note for note. So this is a great little solo here. Now the beginning of it is a little bit difficult to hear on the recording. He might have actually had a capo going there when he recorded it. When I see him play the solo live, he doesn't have a capo on it. But to kind of make that happen, it's kind of a weird move. So that's kind of the closest I can kind of come up with, because it's not, you know, you can't hear it that well what's going on too much. You can hear that little. So we're just gonna stick with that. So, and from there it's pretty easy to hear. So we basically, what I'm doing for this very beginning of it. So that's playing the B flat here at the first fret there on the A string, right? And then the kind of the upper note of this power chord, this third fret of the D. And you can kind of just do this, kind of go back and forth between those two notes. And the second time you come back up to that
D string, the 3rd fret, go up, shift it up to the 4th fret, then get the 1st fret there on the G with like a bar. So, I'm sorry. Get that. And then resolve that to a regular B flat power chord. And then we kind of really start the actual solo. That's the first phrase is this. So that's just going to be here at the 3rd fret there. So you're going to hammer 3 to 5 on the D. Then over to 3 on the G string. And then you're going to do a bend and release at the 5th fret there on the G. Then back to the 3rd fret on the G. Over to the 5th fret on the D. And then back to that 3rd fret on the G. So we have this. And then you basically do the same thing again, except that you hit the last note twice. So we have this. So it's kind of the same lick, just repeated twice. That note just played twice at the end. By the way, after that little bend, we'll pull off to that 3. And then again the second time. So it is. All right, then we go into some 6ths. So now this is up here in the D string, the 8th fret there. I'm going to hybrid pick this, so you can pick a cross them if you want. But I'm picking the D string there, just with the pick, and then the middle finger's getting that B string. In any case, you're going to play the 8th fret on the D and the B, kind of just across the 2, a couple times. Then the same thing up at the 10th fret. And then we're going to go up to the 12th fret on the D, and now the 11th on the B, so it's a minor 6. So it's now back to the major 6 here, at the 13th fret there on the D and the B. So, and then hit those together. So now you hit the 2 strings together at the same time, so this is really where you want to hybrid pick it. Pick those 2 at the 13th, slide it up to the 15. And then when I get there, I just hit the B string and then come back down the 2 13ths. And then that minor 6 shape with the 12 on the D, 11 on the B. So with this. And then we have this last lick. So that's going to be a bend of the 17th fret on the G. And he grabs that 18th fret there on the high E string when he does the bend up. Then pick that G string that's bent up, release, and then the 15th fret then on G. And there's a slide down that happens the same time as that last note, where kind of I think he actually plays it up here. But anyway, so like I said, he doesn't really use a capo live. He just adds some bigger chords at the end. But we just stuck with the really piano chords for the acoustic section. But then we queued up that solo like he played it. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. It is definitely one of my favorite Elton John songs. Just really well put together, very, very catchy, and just also very creative too. So it's a lot of fun to play. All right, I'll see you guys again soon for guitarlessons365.com.